Number 3, released as a waste product from the light-dependent reactions. Okay, so out of light-dependent reactions, there are 3 things that's produced, which is O2, NADPH, and ATP, right? So out of these, the waste product is actually O2. Okay, so this actually doesn't really get used, and then this gets released outside of the leaf. Okay, so it's going to be A. Okay, number 4, a molecule that carries H2 from the light-dependent reactions to the light-independent reactions. Okay, so actually what provides H plus an electron to the Calvin cycle is this guy, right? So NADPH actually produces H plus, actually provides H plus to the intermediates here, okay? So that it actually converts itself into PGAL, all right? So it's going to be D. Number 5, sugar, so that's going to be PGAL. C. Number 6, the oxygen that plants give off. That comes from the first step of the photosynthesis, okay? So in the thylakoid membrane, in the photosystem 2, actually, H2 gets hydrolyzed into O2, all right? So it comes from the light-dependent reactions of the photosynthesis, which is A. Number 7, all of the following statements are correct about photosynthesis. So A, water provides hydrogen for carbon fixation. Okay, that's right, okay. And then B, the light-independent reactions occur in the stroma. Yeah, okay, so in the stroma here, okay, Calvin cycle actually occurs. C, the light-dependent reactions do not require light. Light-independent reactions do not require light and can occur at night. This is not true, okay? Okay, so if you think about it, to carry out the Calvin cycle, what do you need? Okay, what's the raw material for a Calvin cycle? First of all, you need CO2, and also you need ATP and NADPH, right? So in order for actually ATP, NADPH to be provided, you actually have to go through light-dependent reaction first, okay? So if there's no light, then there's going to be no this reaction occurring, right? Okay, so if this reaction doesn't occur, this and this doesn't get produced. So if there's no this, then there can't be Calvin cycle occurring because you can't really provide ATP and NADPH. You know what I mean? So even though this is called light-independent reaction, still it needs light. So this is also light-dependent because Calvin cycle actually depends on the first step. Okay, so if the first step doesn't occur, the second step doesn't occur. All right, so you can say that light-independent reaction is actually dependent on the light. All right, so C is the answer. Number 8, all of the following statements are correct about the light-dependent reactions. Okay, so A, carotenoids are accessory pigments. Yeah, okay, so phycobilins, carotenoids, chlorophyll B, those are the accessory pigments around the reaction center. B, they take place in the grana. All right, so thylakoid, grana, same thing. Okay, C, when light strikes chlorophyll A, electrons enter an electron transport chain. Yeah, okay. So when the light actually gets absorbed at the photosystem here, okay, the electron actually gets excited and then enters the electron transport. Okay, so C is right. D, PGAL is produced. That's produced as a result of light-independent reaction, right? Calvin cycle. So D is wrong. E, they take place within the thylakoid membrane. Yeah, this is true. Okay. Number 9, all of the following statements about photolysis are correct except. Okay, so the term photolysis actually appears on page on page 103. Okay, so photolysis is actually breaking down by a process called photolysis into electrons, protons, and oxygen atoms. Okay, so water actually gets broken into these kind of stuff: electrons, proton, and oxygen. All right, so oxygen is actually released, but then electron actually enters the electron transport, and also proton gets pumped, okay, and then it creates the proton gradient, okay, and finally it actually gets sent to the NADP to produce NADPH, okay. So when you go back to the question, photolysis actually occurs during the light-dependent reaction, okay, so that's the hydrolysis of H